Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a great morning. You joined me in the middle of a recovery run, just taking a little breather at the top of this hill on a beautiful sunrise. It's about maybe 6:30, so very early again, but if you look around, absolutely stunning view wherever you look. So yeah, as I said, just a recovery today, nice and gentle. Something I should do a bit more, to be honest with you, but yeah. So far so good since I've come back from injury, no injuries or anything. Just taking it relatively easy for now anyway, and then hopefully building it back up. But yeah, just a recovery today. We're probably going to do between 6 and 8k, and during that run I'll talk about some of the benefits I think you get out of recovery runs anyway. But yeah, let me know what you're up to today. You going for a run, you going for a walk, you staying inside, are you a key worker? Whatever it is, let me know. I'll be very interested to hear it. But yeah, apart from that guys, we're going to set off now, and yeah, see you in a bit. But yeah, let me know what you're up to today. Are you going for a run, are you going for a walk, or are you just chilling in the house? Whatever you're doing, let me know and leave it in the comment section. Feel free to like and subscribe if you want to see more content and you're enjoying it. It's very much appreciated. But apart from that, I think we're going to set off. Right guys, we are underway in the recovery run, going along nice and gently, about 5 minutes per kilometre pace, or 8-minute miles. So yeah, as I said, recovery run, something we often neglect, whether it's top runners or beginner runners, definitely myself included. Recovery runs is something we often kind of leave, or we simply don't do for whatever reason. A lot of the time it's time constraints, you know. If you work, if you're busy, you might not have time to go kind of slow. You need to get it done nice and quick, so you will naturally go faster. A lot of the time there's a bit of confusion, I guess. People think if I run fast every run, surely I'll get faster. But you know, when you look at the top runners in the world, the likes of Kipchoge, Mo Farah, it's quite surprising to see, or at least it was for me originally, that about 80% of their running, maybe more, is easy pace. Definitely not easy pace for us, or most of us anyway, but for them it's easy pace. So you know, they're talking to their camp runners or whatever, and yeah, it's really easy, really natural. And I guess there's a lot of reasons for this. Number one, it's probably injury prevention. Obviously if you go out for a run every day and you go in full out intensity, 100% as fast as you can, that's putting a big strain on your body, whether it's your legs, your hips, whatever. It's putting a big strain on it, and that could lead to an overuse injury, or you might even fracture something. It could be anything, but the point is, if you're going out 100% every single day, or even close, maybe even 50% of your runs, the chances are an injury could happen. Maybe not for a while, maybe not for a few months, maybe not for a few weeks, but ultimately it probably will happen, as you simply not giving your body enough chance to recover. So yeah, it's understandable why the likes of Kipchoge and Mo Farah do a lot of recovery runs, and it's something I should definitely do more. I for one, I'm definitely guilty of it. You know, for the last few years, a lot of the time my weeks are full of, I wouldn't say 100% efforts, I'm not going full out, but the distance is usually pretty high, often over kind of 15 kilometres, and the pace is still like fairly high for me anyway, about 4 minutes 30 per kilometre, so basically a lot quicker than a recovery run should be. A good way to measure if you're kind of going at the right pace for recovery, from what I've seen, is either looking at your heart rate, or can you speak? Can you have a conversation with someone while you're out for a run? If you can't, the chances are the pace is a little too quick. So basically what I'm doing now, if you can talk like this, the chances are you're probably going to be close to a recovery run, at least. And with heart rate, don't know the exact figures, so don't quote me on this, but I believe, is it like 50 to 60% of your maximum heart rate is what you should be aiming for. But again, don't quote me on that, but basically nice and steady, nice and gentle. Something I've done in the past, as I said, whether it's been because I've just been enjoying it, haven't understood the proper training methods, haven't learnt about it, or I've just got carried away with music or whatever. I've often simply not done enough recovery runs and I've paid the price, whether that be injury or just not as much improvement. Whatever it is, it's usually not the best idea to be going 100% on every single run or even a lot of runs. So yeah, that's something I'm definitely trying to change as I come back from injury. Obviously easier said than done, especially if you've got some good tunes on. We all know we can get carried away quite easily, but you know, if you can do that, if you can stay disciplined, it's definitely worth it. So yeah, that's something I'm really gonna kind of try and nail down in the next few months. Another thing I like to do with recovery runs myself, it often gives me time to work on abs and chest in the middle of a run. So often if you find, I don't know, an outdoor gym or just two bars simply side by side, it gives you a little chance to take a breather, do some ab work, whether it's just the knees up. Can't really explain it very well, but you simply put your arms on the bar or whatever, lift your knees up, do your ab workout in the middle of the run, and away you go. It's simple as that. Whereas obviously on an intense run, a run where you're at maximal effort or close, it's kind of hard to do that. But a recovery run gives you the chance to have a break. You know, there's no time limits, time constraints. Get that ab work in, get that core nice and strong if you can. And yeah, chest as well. If you find something simply to push against, whether it's a wall, a gate or whatever, you can do push-ups obviously. So yeah, push-ups, ab work in the middle of a recovery run, they're going to help so much, or at least they've helped me so much. I can only speak from my experience, but when I have dedicated a lot of time to abs, in the middle of runs, recovery runs, I've seen big benefits down the line. My best kind of racing performance was arguably my half marathon a few years ago, which I did in 76 minutes. During that time, the training involved a lot of recovery and a lot of ab work, strengthening that core, which is so important to be a runner, as we all know. So yeah, that's another top tip I guess on the recovery runs. Don't be afraid to take a breather. If you want to do ab work, brilliant. If you don't, it's not the end of the world, but it will definitely pay off, or it has done for me in the past. Another good point to make on recovery runs, as I take a little breather here, is the fact that if you've got an interval session coming up in the week, whether it's 800 metres, 400 metres, 200 metres, whatever it is, the chances are, if you're not giving yourself the chance to recover through recovery runs or just complete rest, that session's probably going to be impacted. You're not going to perform at your best, you're not going to get the highest speed or whatever, and therefore ultimately it won't be the best session it could be, and again possibly lead to injury. So you've got to take all this into account. It is a tricky balancing act, as I said, when you've got work commitments, uni, school, whatever it is, it's tricky to balance it. I understand that, but if there's one thing I've learned in the last few years, rest, recovery, so important. That's where you improve ultimately. When you rest, your body grows stronger, and you can go again. Whether or not I can put that into practice, we'll have to see, but so far, since I've returned to injury, not too bad. But yeah, let me know how you deal with recovery. Is it something you're good at? Or maybe not, I'll be interested to hear. And yeah guys, as I mentioned before, it's no coincidence the world's best runners, pretty much all of them that I know, I think you'll do well to find one that doesn't do this, has so much easy running in their routine, you know, recovery runs, because that's when they repair, come back stronger and go again. You pick any top athlete and that'll be a big part of their regime. So yeah, that says it all really. And you know, at the end of the day, if say you've got 8k planned in your training plan, if you've got a really strict training plan and you go out for that recovery run that's 8k or whatever, and you're not feeling great, I personally believe there's absolutely no harm in doing a bit shorter or slower. You could do 4k, 5k, whatever it is, to kind of adapt to that. There's no point kind of tying yourself out to the point where you can't can't keep running, because ultimately that's what you want to keep doing. So yeah, if you need to pull back on pace or distance or whatever it is, do it. I mean, it's just my opinion, but it's worked for me in the past. Whenever I've done that the most, that's when I've seen the best results. 5k down to 16:27. I had a good training period, but there was a lot of rest and kind of strength and conditioning, recovery, all that good stuff built in. So yeah, I can't really recommend it highly enough. So yeah, today's a prime example for me. Yesterday I had a 18k run, fairly long distance for me, especially in the middle of the week, and it was at quite a quick pace as well. I think it was 440 per kilometre, maybe something like that, which is about 730 per mile. But yeah, basically a hard run. Today I've gone out again, but only done 5k at a really gentle pace. Obviously took breaks, as you can see, and built in some ab work as well. So it's all about the recovery for me today. And yeah, it's not about, you know, going out 100%, as I said, every single day and tiring yourself out. But yeah, ultimately it just makes sense, doesn't it? If you give yourself the time to recover, the time to recuperate after a run or a hard session, that is generally when you're going to see the growth, the repair, allowing you to go faster, further, stronger, whatever in the future. So for me, recovery, so important. Obviously you see a few people, including myself, as I've said in the past, where they run like every day, very long, very hard, which is great to see, don't get me wrong. You know, some of the times and distances are pretty incredible to see, really, but ultimately it will likely result in injury. So cutting back on that a little bit, even if it's just a little bit, can make all the difference in the long term. Totally understand it, because, you know, if you enjoy running, you want a goal, it's very kind of inviting to just go out every day really hard, embrace the music, go for that session, interval session, get the speed in legs. But yeah, ultimately in the long term it's probably better not to, and recover a bit more. But yeah, that's it guys. Hopefully you've agreed with me on that. Let me know if you don't. Do you think you should go out 100% on every run, or maybe slightly different to what I've said? Let me know anyway in the comments. Leave a like if you've enjoyed, and subscribe if you want to see more. I'd really appreciate that. But yeah, apart from that guys, hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.